Hey everybody, this is NJ here, the host of the NJ podcast, and this is Thriving Project Management Thursdays. This is part of the Everyday series where we share inspiration and insights for you to become the best project manager in the world. Project management is important. As Joy Gums eloquently said, operations keeps the lights on, strategy provides light at the end of the tunnel, and it is project management that is the train engine that drives the organization forward. And everybody wants to be a project manager, but not everybody wants to do the hard work. That's because you really need to love project management in order for you to be successful. And of course you love project management because you're listening to this episode of Thriving Project Management Thursdays. And on today we're going to talk about focusing on a career. And this is geared towards those people who are starting out in project management or are considering a move to the project management field, and those who want to recruit project managers as part of their business, as part of the organization, and want to mentor people in the disciplines of project management. And one of the mistakes that I made early on, and I'm seeing you people in the profession make, is you're taking the short-term view. You're looking for instant gratification, and when things don't pan out in the time frame that you thought it would pan out in, then you give up and then you think that this is not for you, where that in essence is not necessarily the case. But sometimes you end up feeling despondent because your mindset is not focused on building a career, and this needs you to take a long-term view, a long-term perspective, because this is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You use sprints in agile software development when delivering a project, but your overall endeavor in project management journey is a marathon. So take the long-term view, have a 5, 10, 15 and 20 year time horizon associated to the career that you want to build. The best project managers, project delivery managers, directors, PMO leads, CEOs all have time in the game. They have worked for between 10 to 20 years, and they are able to build that experience and that insight, which does prove to be invaluable. There are those who are brilliant in a shorter space of time. On average, you do need more skin in the game and time on the field for you to become more proficient and to be rewarded. So we need to start taking the long-term view from the very beginning. And people normally fail because they do not have a they don't have the career mapped out for where they want to go. Now, I did not say a detailed, comprehensive plan that you are stuck to. I'm talking about mapping out what your different milestones will be and the general track that you need to get there, and being able to adapt where it is that you'll go. And then you need to take some time to think of the skills and competencies that you need to build. The skills and the competencies that you need to build. In project management, you'll need a variety of skills. The talent triangle beautifully maps out what is needed. You need your technical skills. That's your ability to plan and execute, raise issues, assumptions, dependencies, understand the technicalities of your industry and domain. You also need strategic and business management skills, being able to understand the business, run a business, and run the operations as well. Then you need to have leadership and communications, and based on the type of project manager you want to be, based on the industry that you are in, take time to list the skills that you will need. And also, it would be good for you to enlist outside help. Get yourself a coach, get yourself a mentor, get yourself an authority figure who is currently where you want to be. In my experience, I've had PMO directors, PMO leads, PM instructors, and business, just general business and life mentors who would take time and, guide you in the things that you need to learn and grow in. You cannot do this by yourself. As a project manager, you need a multidisciplinary team to effectively deliver a project, and you will need a multidisciplinary team to be in your ear and to guide you. Novak Djokovic is the greatest tennis player of all time, bar none. I don't want to hear any excuses. He has a nutritionist, he has a sports psychologist, he's a sports therapist, he has an entire team that assists him in raising his game to the highest level possible. So you, as a high performing project manager, liken you to being a high performing athlete, you need to get yourself some outside help. And to stop you from being despondent when things don't work out the way that you've always wanted them to work out, it would be good for you to be married to the goal, what your outcome is that you want to achieve, and then date the plan. What that means is stay set on the type of project manager you want to be, the skill sets that you want to grow, and when things chop and change, external forces change out there, be sure that you are nimble enough to adapt your plan. And as you work as a project manager, things are definitely going to change. And I believe that this is one of the best professions in the world, but you need to have a starting point. And let's talk about the career path. So if you've decided to start, you may be asking yourself, what's next? What is the long-term trend? How the demand is the demand in the market looking out there? I know it's definitely growing. So you also need to think of which industry that you'd want to be in, and how things would look for you, just where the costs and the benefits out there. So we're going to also look at what skills and competencies would you need to be the greatest project manager in the world. You will do things, as I've spoken to the talent triangle. You need to have a combination of hard skills and soft skills, planning, risk management, and communication, negotiation, and being able to influence your team members and stakeholders. People will definitely look to you for guidance. I liken this unto being a parent, and people will look to you to guide them. You'll have to be able to strategize before, during, and after the project, and have an adaptable prior plan, and be the person that raised risks and issues before they happen, and being able to have a solution to the problem. You need to lead yourself, lead the team members, and lead the stakeholders, because they'll be looking to you for guidance. And you need to have a good base of just hardcore management skills, and manage all the risks. Know every single part of the project that you can, from the cost structures to the schedules, the dependencies, what the start date is and what the end date is. And please know the difference between a project and operations. A project has a start date and an end date. Operations is ongoing. If a project doesn't have an end date, it's not a project. Okay, just pet peeve of mine. And then build a knowledge base to separate yourself as an expert in the industry that you're in, such as the tools, techniques, and the project management methods that you can use, from waterfall to agile practices. Build that expert knowledge, and as you grow and as you learn and as you progress, then things will change for you. And the starting point of being a project manager is understanding what qualifications you will need. You can look at in universities, they will have your general B, your BComs and your commerce degrees and humanities degrees, and they may have programs where they're teaching project management as a course and as a discipline in university. And then post that, we have a number of certifications and courses and online classes that you can take. Certifications such as the Certified Associate in Project Management, and then the Project Management Professional, which is the gold standard of certifications that you can take. There's a wide source of them, but more important, just think of the certifications that you will need to use out there. Those, the ones that I've listed, are the ones that are good to get started, but you can also do your research. Then also think, which industries do you want to work in? Which industries do you want to be exposed in? Do you want to be exposed to construction and infrastructure? Do you want to work in information technology? I believe information technology is the hardest one because things are less predictable. But project management is still tough across any other industries. Then it can be business improvement and transformation, and it can be health, and it could be insurance, it could be telecommunications. Think of the different industries that you have a strong passion for, that you want to grow in, and if you're not sure, pick one, start off there. But project management skills are still transferable from company to company and industry to industry. So if you're starting out and you're not sure which industry you want to start out in, don't panic, because as your career grows, you will be able to get the exposure that you need to get exposure to. And where you would normally start as a project manager, if we're going to focus on building a career, taking a long-term view, it would be good for you to start out to build just the basic administrative competencies and experience, and then that role would be the project coordinator. And the entry level to being a project manager is a project coordinator and administrator, which is very vital and important support person to others in the project team. What they normally do is they report to the project manager, assist in an admin tasks and projects such as capturing the time, putting out the reports, assisting with information and feedback to project managers. And this is important because information that is visualized with the start date, end date, risk issues, and the key metrics and success factors for the project coordinator will be privy to, and so they will be across all aspects of the project, so they can coordinate and align with the short-term and long-term goals of the project. So what you'll do is that make sure that the day-to-day activities and tasks are taken care of, so that the project manager can be more strategic in their endeavors. What you'll do as a project administrator, it may be hard, but this is you building the foundation, keeping the project plan up to date, schedule and manage the meetings, collect and report data on prescribed metrics, and also look at the budget tracking and other important information. And this you'll be able to communicate, organize, do the time management, the data capturing, the data entry, focusing on the detail. Attention to detail is very important, and just assist in getting things done. This will allow you to build the foundation of planning, executing, and communicating. As a project coordinator, the remuneration is lower than a project manager as you start off, but it will grow. And how you start off as a project coordinator administrator, you start off in the relevant university degree. Look for an internship, look for a mentorship program, look for a certification, just for you to get started and for you to start cutting your teeth, and start off with a humble and a teachable spirit, because when you have that humble and teachable spirit, you are more prone to learning and then growing and adding value to the people that are above you. In this world of project management, if you have a huge ego, you're going to have a tough time, because at the end of the day, you need to focus on providing a service to others versus aggrandizing yourself. From a project coordinator, you move to being a project manager. And now that you've got all the skills that you've acquired from being a project coordinator, you can start using them in being a project manager. This title seems very self-explanatory, but that's not necessarily the case. At the end of the day, you own, control, and be the CEO and managing a project or a portfolio, multiple projects from start to finish. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's very difficult, but that's what it's about. And you will take the lead on a project and oversee everything from the planning through to the completion of the project. And if you move up from a project coordinator to a project manager, you get more responsibility and you get compensated for it more, but now you're starting to enter the major leagues. Day to day, you'll be in charge of overseeing budget reporting, progress of the work, managing stakeholder engagement. Let me say stakeholder engagement, because you can't manage other people, you can't manage stakeholders. You can choose how you engage with them, communicating with your team members up, down, sideways, and planning for upcoming requirements of the project, and be sure to act before things happen. And What's more important is to take on responsibilities of project management is that you need to have the strategic lens and the leadership lens and understand how the project is progressing and know as much as you can about the project. You are a project manager, not a postman. Don't deliver messages you're not sure of what's going on. You need to know as much as you possibly can. You'll communicate well with all team members and the stakeholders, look at all the nitty-gritties of the project. You need to have that emotional grit and work well under pressure because things will go wrong, and be comfortable with complexity, be comfortable being uncomfortable, and then operate and respond accordingly to changing dynamic environments. And you need to make sure that you execute at the highest possible level, because the more you execute, the more valuable you'll be. And now let's look at how you can become a project manager now that you've moved from a project coordinator, administrator to a project manager. Again, you've already got the basis of the education from your tertiary institutions and starting to move towards the certifications, and you can go through the formal training. PMI is a very great source for you to look at in terms of getting training. Other sources are out there. The best, I think one of the best certification for you to get started with is the Certified Associate in Project Management. And then once you've got the experience, 3.5 years, you've got the hours in, and if you qualify for the project management professional, I would also do that. In order for you to make sure that the depth of your understanding of all project management tools, techniques, and methodologies are there, get as many certifications as possible. The Prince to go for program management type of certifications, and start learning about learning about it, and just take as many courses about project management, because you cannot learn enough as a project manager. More importantly than the certifications is the practical application of the knowledge that you have acquired. Now we've moved from being a project manager and we want to have our own project management team and directorship. Now you move to the project director. Now when you move from a project manager to project director, you are in the big leagues. Now this is the professionals. You're no longer an amateur. This is with the big fish now. And the scope and the challenge and responsibility of being a project director has now expanded. Now you're moving towards CEO type of levels, and now at this level it's no longer about the day-to-day execution. It's more about strategic day-to-day execution. It's about meeting your deadlines, and your project management skills are high, but now you're focusing more on strategy, the business management, and leadership. A project director is this. You have to have a broad understanding of the company's objectives and the different projects and programs that are running simultaneously and what the priorities are. The key difference between a project manager and a project director: as a PM, you dedicate your time to one project or multiple projects and know the final details of the job, whereas a project director, you're often across multiple projects and programs. I know as a PM you can have multiple projects, but now the level has increased as a project director. You can oversee highly complex, business critical projects that are mutually exclusive or they are linked by achieving the high impact on strategic outcome. Keywords there: strategic outcome. You need to have more of a strategic lens, and the weight of your decisions are heavy. It's good to take time to make sure you make decisions based on as much information, data, and intuition as possible. That's why you need the time. A project director is a senior member of all projects, an essential leader within the organization. You will see a lot of project managers will report to you. You will sit on the same level as a C-suite, or you report to a C-suite member, typically a chief operating officer or a chief risk officer, and you'll be required to manage up as executives, and board members will look to you for direction. They will look to you for direction. They no longer are they asking you how is the project doing. They will be asking you which projects should we prioritize, which direction should the project go, and what is the impact of that decision that we will take. it's very high, and this is a very good start to aim towards. Now, you will need to have an overview of all status of the projects and notified of any potential risks and issues, and the project director does not get involved to the day-to-day running of a project. You lead through others. It's no longer about how well you deliver, it's about how other people who are under you are able to deliver. And the project director has executive level ownership, and you will need to manage insane budgets, sometimes to the millions of whatever currency that you operate in. A major reallocation of resources and organizational transformation. You can dictate where the resources go and where they will need to, and also be accountable for that decision, and you will achieve the overall strategic and transformational goals of the organization. Most important thing is alignment with the organizational strategic goals. Project directors get bank. All right, there are multiple sources that you can look at there to how much they can get paid. Pay scale says, I'm not too sure how reliable this is, but I'll throw out the number. It's between $109,000 to $258,000, depending on the industry. There are sources where you can look out for the salaries, but I don't want that to be the major focus. The focus is the long-term view and the skills that you need to build. What would you need to get there? You need your decades of experience. You can get program management certified. PMI has got certifications related to program management, which is very good. And also at this level, it would be great to be a specialist in whatever industry that you are in. At this moment, when you move up, you start to specialize more, and when your knowledge is now special, you charge a higher premium because your knowledge is that focused. And with that, you will need to specialize, and as a project coordinator and a project manager, you can be more of a generalist, but as a project director, you may want to start moving towards being a specialist. It's not a hard and a fast rule, but that is what the case is. So just to look through and recap what we've talked about, right? To be a project manager, a great one, you need to have emotional grit. You need to have the hard skills, the soft skills, reporting, budgeting, and planning, and you need to be a good leader, motivate the team, and communicate like a boss. And while in terms of the industries, construction and infrastructure are the dominant industries for project management roles, IT and business improvement are definitely on the rise. And if you are interested, you might want to build a specialization there. I'm a bit biased because that's where I've got some skin in the game. And then if you want to go through a traditional project management career path, you will start as a project coordinator, administrator, move up to a project manager, then to a project director. And then this is not set in stone. Remember I said marry the goal and then date the plan. You can also go into many specialist area, program manager, and a PMO manager. And though they are sometimes typically on the same level as a project director, sometimes roles are used interchangeably, and that's completely up to what it is that you have an appetite for. And remember that a mistake that you can make when you're starting out and providing advice to other people is people don't take the long-term view. You don't have a map for where you want to go. You haven't taken time to list the essential skills that you need, and you haven't enlisted outside help. And remember that you should marry the goal and date the plan. I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Thriving Project Management Thursdays, where we talked about focus on a career. And if you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And if you are interested in any merchandise, please head over to the website and have a great Thursday. Have a Thriving Project Management Thursday. Take the time to focus on a career. A career in project management is worth it, and it's important. As Joy Gums eloquently said, operations keeps the lights on, strategy provides light at the end of the tunnel, but project management is a train engine that drives the organization forward. And you're focusing on a career in project management because you love it Everybody wants to be a project manager, but not everybody wants to do the hard work. And I will see you on the next episode.